Hello all. Well, happy Easter. So, what am I going to do on Easter? Let's see. How about prime rib on the pellet grill? Can't think of anything better to cook on a beautiful day like this. So, there was a sale on prime ribs, so we bought several. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cook us up a prime rib today, and unfortunately you guys don't get any, but I do apologize for that. So we're going to do it on the, I keep calling it the Frankengrill. I almost need to get like make up like an emblem that says Frankengrill. Anyhow, it's going to be my, my charcoal grill turned into pellet grill, which is freaking awesome. And if you guys don't have one, you need one, or go get a Traeger grill that's similar, or go to smokedaddy.inc. I keep putting in a plug for him because he did such a great job and helped me out. So you can get a whole grill from him, or you can get just the components, like I keep saying. Check it out, seriously. That's the best freaking thing I ever bought in my life, other than like a bed to sleep on. So at any rate, this is a 6.5 pound prime rib. Rib roast, whatever. It's not actually a prime cut, but you know, that's what everybody calls it anyhow. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna leave this sit for about an hour and a half. Try and get up to room temperature. You don't want it freezing cold when you put it on there, because this meat is so thick that the center will still be too cold. You know, it won't be reading correctly. So what I try and do is I'm going to crank the thing up all the way, which, you know, hopefully will be between 425 and 450, depending on the size. You know, like usually I make, this is a 3 rib at 6.5 pounds. I usually do like an 8 pound 4 rib, somewhere in there, and I cook it for like 45 minutes. You want to really kind of crisp the outside up and seal in all the juices. So I'd probably do it in a half an hour with this size. Then I'm going to drop it down to 325-ish for probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours. You know, it's about 13 to 15 minutes per pound, but all that, go get yourself a digital thermometer, because the internal temperature is what you're shooting for. Some people like to do medium rare. You hit 130, then when you pull it out, you leave it sit for a half an hour, and it will continue to, temperature will continue to rise to about 140, which is medium rare. My family likes it just a little bit more done, like medium, so I'm going to try and cook it to about 140, then pull it off, or 135, somewhere in there. We'll see. Can't have it too bloody, otherwise the family won't be happy. I could eat it like rare like this, but you know, whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat it in Worcestershire sauce, and if I said that wrong, I don't care, because whoever invented that word is an ass. And then I'm going to coat it in Montreal steak seasoning all over, nice and heavy and thick. I'm going to put the probe in it, and I'm going to check the internal temperature and try and get it up to about 70 degrees before I throw it on. And I'll show you what it looks like right in a second when that's done. Okay. It's been coated with Worcestershire sauce and Montreal steak seasoning. Got the temperature gauge in there. That probe is so long that if I pushed it the whole way in, it would end up being, you know, way back here somewhere. So I'm trying to aim for the center, and a little bit lower than center on here, a little bit closer to the bone, because the bone's usually what takes so long to cook. So right about there, and temperature is currently at 33 degrees, and I set the alarm for 70. Probably not going to get there, to be honest. You know, I got about an hour and a half to leave it set out here, but we'll see. And then once that hits that, once it gets close, I'll prep the grill, get it cranking up to 400 degrees, and make sure it's nice and hot when I slap this bad boy on there. And then I'll do an update from there, so just hold on. Okay, so I figured I'd show the inside of this thing. I don't know if I actually ever done that right when I was getting ready to cook or not. But there's the hopper there that you can set the temperature to with pellets, and I don't have a lot left, so I'm hoping I can get through this prime rib. But the insides, this is kind of like a retro. This was a adjustable crank charcoal grill, so I put a new bottom in it. I closed off the vents on the side. There's the hopper, the little pot that the auger feeds the pellets into, and then that little thing right there heats up, and that's what catches it on fire. And then this here was just a little piece of, like, I don't know, 16 gauge steel or something that's used as a heat shield, because we're cooking with indirect heat. So that's kind of the whole point of this, so you're not burning your food, you know, you're not getting that burnt from, you know, the flame and whatnot. So that goes on there, and then I just got one of those big, you know, restaurant-sized cooking sheets, and it sits in here on a couple of screws, bolts that I got on the back and the front. Sits in there as a drip tray. So, you know, like the regular Traegers, they've got their own custom-sized whatever. But I just used a cookie sheet. I had to bend it in the center just a little bit because it was just a little bit oversized, but other than that, it fit real well. So then you just put your grates on here, which they're dirty. You know, if your grill isn't dirty, then you don't use it enough. So I'll clean them up a little bit, but then that's it. So we'll start it up here real quick. We're going to crank this up all the way on high. Close, well, one thing you always want to go in there and vacuum. It does produce a little bit of dust, you know, kind of just like your fireplace would or whatever. So I go in there and I vacuum it out just to make sure it's not blowing it around on my food. So close the lid up. This thing will get cranking. Barbecue grillware. I need to get a thing that says Frankengrill for on there. But all right, I'll come back to you right when I put it on. Okay, so I kind of pulled this thing a little bit into the garage here because it's so windy out. I want this thing as hot as I can get it. So we're still just over 300, but I need to get this thing on or I'm not going to have it ready for dinner. And surprisingly enough, I left that sucker sit out for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, and it still didn't get up to room temperature. So be advised, I would definitely take it out for 2+, maybe 3 hours. And I know that kind of sounds funny, leaving your meat sit out for 3 hours, but you know, you need to get that center up to room temperature. So I failed on that, so let's hope that that doesn't end up screwing me up in the end. But it's on. Probe's in it. We are good to go. Now it's all about the grill. So I'm gonna go put a timer in there for about a half an hour. We'll check on it, see if I need to do 45 minutes on high, and then I'll bring it down to 325, and I'll give you an update. Alright, so let's see how it looks. It's cranked up on high and running at 425 in the middle, and then up here at the top it's kind of way under, so that's a little concerning. Internal temperature is only 65 degrees. This is out for 40 minutes. Target temp's 135, so the alarm will go off. Let's see how it looks. Oh wow. Oh, it's looking good. Looking great, actually. Looking great. So you can see the smoke. Yeah, you get a little bit of smoke from using them pellets. When you get a lot of smoke, you got to hook up the smoke daddy. You know, that thing. But you still get a little bit of smoke because you are using wood. So we're going to crank this down now. Sorry. Losing track where my hand's at. I always, like, if you want it on 325, you got to set it a little bit higher because this is a bigger grill than what this thing's set up for, so it dissipates heat a little bit more. So I set that thing at about 350. We'll see what it settles out at, which that will slow down my pellet usage, which I need to do because I got enough there to do this prime rib, but not a lot. So, all right, I will next update. It should be done. Okay, so temp check. 139. Target of 140. Yeah, I put it up a little bit higher because my wife insisted on having it like medium well, which is like ruined. So 134 is medium and 150 is medium well. So I'm going to pull it off now, let it rest. Hopefully it'll settle somewhere around 145, and then she can get out one of the outside pieces and I can take one of the inside pieces. And you know what they say, happy wife, ruined steak. So and I am like completely out of pellets. So much so that the smoke's coming up through the see, empty. So I can pretty much turn this off. And I did put some potatoes on and some asparagus, and there's our steak. Man, that's that thing gorgeous. So I'm going to take it inside. I'm going to wrap it in foil, let it set for about a half an hour, and hopefully we'll have an edible steak. And I'll just take some pictures of it, because if I do the whole filming video thing in here while I'm doing the steak, my wife will think I lost my mind. And I might have, but hey, I figured some of you guys will enjoy this, especially if you got a pellet grill. So enjoy, happy Easter, I know I will, and yeah, have a good one, thanks.